Dead by Daylight has a lot of variation in between each match. In fact, I'm sure that's one of its biggest success points, is how different each match can feel despite being the same game. There's all sorts of different combinations of things that can happen. Killers, survivors, builds, etc. But there's one type of variation that wouldn't change gameplay necessarily, but would make each match feel unique in its own way. What I'm talking about is changing the lighting on each map. We have beautiful Coldwind here, for example. It's a lovely map, it's daytime, which we should be dead by, but it's a great looking map. However, have you ever wondered what it would be like if, let's say, we turned those lights off and made it more like Macmillan, for example? Well, you can do that, as you can see. Using the private server of DBD, we can change the lighting at our will and make whatever map we want our own. It's honestly working just fine. There's nothing wrong with it at all. The lighting works great, and it makes the map feel a lot different without actually changing anything balance-wise. I think if this were implemented into the live game, I think that would give a lot more variety in terms of making each match feel unique. Obviously with its own limitations, of course. If you don't want Haddonfield or Midwich to have different lighting and you want them to remain their own because of licensing issues, well, you could just set limitations on those particular maps, or in terms of different lighting. And you could give Coldwind a daytime or a nighttime variant, or give it an Autohaven lighting, and it would be phenomenal. It works just fine as far as I can tell. You could give the Swamp Asylum lighting. You could give Dead Dog Autohaven lighting. You could mix and match all sorts of your original maps into something that is a lot more unique feeling. Even if it doesn't necessarily match the theme, lore-wise, you already have a way out of this. The entity mixes things up a little bit sometimes. Sometimes it gets a little confused and accidentally makes something a little bit different. And before anyone asks about if there's limitations to this in terms of how the engine works, as far as I can tell, there's not. In fact, this is exactly how Freddy's power works. Freddy has different lighting throughout the entire match, and in the middle of the match, when survivors fall asleep, their lighting changes like the flick of a switch. So it works on every single map, even licensed maps. It works. I don't really see any single reason why this couldn't be implemented, and probably pretty easily. I realize in terms of changes that the game needs, and that's a priority, I realize this is at the bottom of that list, but I think it'd be a pretty simple thing to add in that would give a lot more variety and unique feeling to each match. Let me play on Coal Tower in the daytime. Let me play on Autohaven with Macmillan lighting. Let me play on Dead Dog at nighttime. It would all be so fucking cool. Anyway, just wanted to share my idea. Maybe people want to share it around. If anyone at Behavior is watching, I realize we don't have the best, connection with each other. We're not on best of terms. But if you could maybe give this somewhat of a look at, that'd be really awesome somewhere down the line. Anyway, thank you for watching. Very small idea. I just wanted to put that out there. Appreciate you. Bye-bye. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bedbugs bite. Bye-bye.